What's up, dude? So Dr. Andy Galpin's coming in. He's one of the world-renowned kind of exercise physiologists out there. Andy and I first met at NFL performance staff meetings at the Combine maybe 3 years ago. He's a great resource and an incredible advocate for the brand. One of the things that's really unique about the ecosystem that is kind of surrounded Momentous is there's always something more than what you think on the surface. There's always more than you as Dr. Andy Galpin, the practitioner, the exercise physiologist in the lab. Like, what has driven you to get to where you are today, and what is the impact you're looking to have, right, on the world?
I mean, the drive part is layered.
Yeah.
I have so much love for setting out on these things where you're like, hey, statistically, there's a 100% chance you're gonna fail. I'm like, yeah, like, let's do it. On the very surface, that's super, super fun.
Yeah.
Below that, one of the things I've had more pleasure in is helping people that are in sports that no one cares about. They're gonna go win Olympic championships and they're not gonna make any money and nobody cares. And you're gonna give every part of your life to go after one goal that's not gonna matter to anybody really but you. Like, that's a ride I will always go on.
You're doing all this work in this really elite category, and you've always had a presence that most, I would say, people in academia don't have. Like, for a long time, you've been doing 3-minute science videos, 5-minute science videos, 30-minute science videos. Like, what drove you to educate the public? Like, you were doing this before it became...
Yeah, I was the first person to ever have a YouTube account. At the time, my classes would fill up, pretty quickly. And I was always like, like, I have this information for these classes and only 32 people get it because they had the right registration date. You're like, this doesn't make any sense. And I just wanted to get that information out there because I feel like it would have helped me going through school, because college was super hard for me. If 6 people watch it, I don't give a fuck.
It's more than the 32.
Yeah.
That you had
Yeah.
to start with, yeah.
So I'm like, that's what I did. And it turns out it led to everything else that's happened. I still can't believe the spot that we're in. If you just do exactly what you want to do, because you're more passionate about that, you're gonna do better work, you'll put in more hours, and people can clearly see that. And I'm only doing things at this point that are like mega projects that are going to take years and years and years to get anything out of. It actually gives you the freedom to do some stuff that is really going to matter.
Because you're looking at trends, long-term implications, and not just like, well, in a lab, this molecule does X, let's do this. And it's like, in practice, like, nobody cares about that. It's important for the evolution of science, but when you're trying to push boundaries and do greatness, it's this really unique blend of how do you train, how do you eat, how do you fuel, how do you communicate, what's your motivation, and then understanding the broader ecosystem.
That's my current passion, of being like, no, we're gonna do some stuff, or we're gonna learn something about humanity that we've never ever known before at a big, big level in a lot of different, and I can give you like sub-examples, but there's so many projects within that when I'm like, that's the fun stuff now.
So we're gonna follow your lane program, because you're actually a smart practitioner or scientist that follows a program.
Yeah, I think we could put something together. I have some ideas.
You train solo typically?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Always.
Why?
It's the only time of my day when I get to be by myself for the most part. So the last thing I want is more engagement. Stay up, stay tall.
Pretty awesome honor that I'm training with you and you never train with people.
I hate it.
What's the impact you want to make in the next 10 years?
I don't really care if I make one.
I don't believe you. Why do you work so hard?
It's really, like, I'm just being honest. I don't think 100 years from now anyone's gonna know who I am or care. What I want to get done, like why I want to do this stuff, is because I think there are basic things that will help people's lives that are stuck behind a paywall, that are stuck behind the university access. Where I was when I was a kid, I'm like, man, I didn't have it that bad, really? Compared to like millions and millions that have it. And what if like the one thing you can do is like, just give that person some help with their physical health for free? It's just weird that we have that information there, and just the way that our information distribution stuff works, I feel it's just an obligation of going, I got insanely lucky with a lot of breaks in my life. And like, I feel like the least you can do is then help those people who didn't get those breaks.
Yeah.
When we think about supplements, how do you frame it? Like, what is your supplements can do or should be thought of line?
The way that we tend to think about it is you didn't know where to start. What are the foundational pieces? Protein, fish oil, creatine, maybe not a multivitamin, vitamin D. It's probably your like foundational 5. If you ran advanced testing, you still come up with those to be insufficient most of the time. They tend to have a clinically meaningful benefit. They tend to have very large and high safety profiles. But more important than that, they have very low cross-reactivity. So creatine's not gonna interfere with your muscle gain. It's not gonna hurt it, right? It's not gonna reduce your mitochondrial benefit. It's not gonna hurt your sleep. And so it's like, I'm very comfortable with saying, hey, if most people started there, you're very likely to have any concerns safety-wise, or even just like you're not hurting your own gains.
If you say, I work with all these high performers, from athletes to CEOs to actors to musicians, what are like the 3 things that you say, to perform better, you need to do X?
World champion or never done anything in personal health or performance at all, never played a sport, never paid attention to personal health. The very first starting place that has the biggest impact is just get somewhat consistent. One of the things people fail to understand about physiology is the greatest tool you have is predicting patterns. Your energy, your digestion, your productivity, your sleep, your recovery is all based at its core on anticipation. When it doesn't know what's gonna happen, it starts throwing signals all over the place. Then you're gonna expect your energy to be inconsistent. You're gonna expect your focus to be inconsistent. Your mood is gonna be inconsistent. Your sleep, everything's gonna be inconsistent. Without being like a sterile, I do the same thing every day, that's not what I'm saying. But can you introduce some level of pattern recognition?
Okay, what's number 2?
Then number 2 is identifying what we call your most severe performance anchor. So what is the worst thing you're doing? Okay, great, go fix it. As much as you can within your control, right? We all have something. What is that thing? What is it? Is it your nutrition so bad that we can start with a greens powder? This is one of the arguments where supplements will come into play, right? If you can put a supplement in front of somebody and that's the one action they will take, it will absolutely have a significant and clinically meaningful benefit. If you can get to 1 and 2, like you can change lives.
And what was the 3rd one?
And now step 3 is fine tuning. Maybe it's the next level of supplementation that is based on your physiology. Maybe it is the next level of precision in terms of this is your calorie or your macronutrient, or you need to be doing this type of training. Number 3 is when you can start getting like worldly performances.
That's like true optimization.
Yeah.
Andy, seriously, thank you for coming, hanging out. You are what makes this company special. You and your other peers in the space, of like how you lean in, how you never are afraid to say what we need to hear. So thank you for what you do, and thank you for letting me explore my curiosity a bit.